G'day guys, welcome back. Too many projects, not enough time. I'm Andrew. Here we are back in the shop with Ivy. Patience just outside the back there. So I'm back. A month-long whirlwind trip visiting my home country in Australia. It was back to back, driving, visiting, sightseeing. Oh my god, I need a vacation from my vacation. The whole family went. My mum got to meet my kids. She got to meet her grandkids for the first time. My son's 19, yes I know. So it was a great trip. We all enjoyed ourselves. My kids want to move to Australia now that so I guess we need to get them citizenship, which apparently is pretty easy. And then if they move there, that means maybe I get to retire there with my wife, because she would move there because the kids are there. Anyway, great trip. Shout out to all of our friends there. Nick, Alan, Shirley, Margaret, John, oh my goodness, Shane, Larissa, Scott, Richard, and the family. Oh my goodness, Andrew and Sydney, Bestie, Brent, Helen, Melanie, Emily, my mum, John. Oh my god, there's so many more. I didn't unfortunately get to meet up with anyone. There was a couple of you guys that wanted to meet up along the way. Time and location just didn't quite work out, so sorry we couldn't make it happen. I really wanted to, but we were on a really tight time schedule getting up the coast. We went to an area called Toronto, or in the Newcastle Hunter Valley area where I grew up, for about a week of back-to-back visiting with friends and family and looking around. Lots of beautiful meals and catching up, and then we moved up to up the east coast all the way to Cairns. So I spent the next like 7 or 8 days traveling about 300 or 400 kilometers a day, heading all the way up the coast till we got to Cairns. Spent Cairns right on the beach. It was absolutely amazing. Tons of sights around there. The train, the sky rail thingy, all the way up to the Daintree. Went diving on the reef. Tons of stuff. So I'm back, ready to get at it again. While I was gone, couple of unobtainium parts arrived, which was just amazing. So here's what they are. First of all, here's a double cardan front drive shaft that I just had custom made for Patience, the 101, because she vibrates and makes god-awful noises, which is a common trait, all you 101 owners out there. Yes, I know some of you are like, oh, drive it, whatever. I always want to be able to skip down the highway comfortably without having to grease the front drive shaft all the time and whatever the other issues are with it. Anyway, so double cardan joint. The problem, the unobtainium part, is this bit on the very end that fits the flange. The rest of it was no problem, but just one piece here was basically unobtainium. The drive shaft shop said, yeah, we can do it, but they can't source this part. So here's the part number, go away, see if you can find one, and bring it back and we'll build you one. So while I was away, I managed to source one out of the US from a shop down there. I think basically the last one left on a shelf that at least advertises online. Managed to buy that, and it was here when I got back, and I dropped this off at Pat's Driveline here in Surrey, British Columbia yesterday, and then this morning they called me, said it was already in built. So we'll get that put in. I won't bore you with the installation of this, it's just 8 nuts and bolts. But we will take you for a drive at the end of this video, and you will get my reaction when we get up to speed on the highway to see if that fixes the problem. Or you curious 101 owners out there as to what the difference is, because it was pretty bad before. Alright, so the next unobtainium part, right before I left, I was on eBay, and the bell housing that I use in Ivy here is a 1962-63 Buick Skylark bell housing. which adapts to an American gearbox. They were only on 2 years because the Buick engine is the 215, which became the Rover V8, which is what I'm running. That bell housing off the Buick Skylark is very rare, very hard to find, and very expensive when you do find them. I've managed to find a couple. One I've used and the other one I flipped. And I managed to find another, but what I was missing is I just managed to get a bell housing. But what I was missing, and what I have now, because I found one that had everything. So there's the bell housing. Same one I have on the truck. But this one, which I was missing, has the bottom inspection plate. Very awesome. So I have that now. It's even rarer and hard to find than the actual bell housing, because usually this bottom plate is usually the first thing to be thrown aside, and then the project moves on, and then this ends up in the bin or whatever, because it's not as important as bolting the gearbox to the engine. It's just the cover on the bottom. So these are even rarer to find. And even rarer than that, on this complete one, is the thrower bearing lever, which I won't be using because I have one that I'm using already with a hydraulic push clutching edge. Oh my god, mental blank there. You know what I'm talking about. So I've already got that set up, but I have the original clutch fork, which is awesome, and also I have the original boot, which is leather and is held in by a couple of clips. It's basically, if you can see that, it's a metal frame with those little clips on it, which clip into the hole of the bell housing, and a leather boot. So I think what I will do is either just sew up this leather boot or make a new one, take it off and make a new one. And I have that. That's amazing. That's even more rare to find than just the bell housing. So I have those amazing parts, amazingly. So what I'll be using is the bottom cover and the lever, clutch fork leather shroud cover boot. But I will be moving on to the bell housing without all that stuff, because I don't need another bell housing. I'm sure one day I'll regret it again, but I don't need another bell housing, and I could use some money to move along with some more stuff on the projects. So if you need one of these bell housings, unfortunately missing the bits that I need, reach out to me. They're not cheap. I merely just want to recoup and break even on this bit. So anyway, reach out, let me know. And we also received in the mail when I was in Australia from Nathan. There's a couple of Nathans on the channel, you guys. But the one Nathan who I was hoping to catch up in Queensland, but it just didn't work out, time and locations and all that sort of stuff, because we kind of went from Byron Bay right through Brisbane to Australia Zoo that day, and we weren't stopping in Brisbane. I already see something in the mail. I gave him my my mother's address, and we're going to unwrap it here and see what he sent me. Thank you very much. And your koala farts are on the way, seeing as you're also a winner. So if you want to win some more koala farts, remember to comment below. Even comment if you want to go to Australia, where would you go, or what is your favourite place in Australia, in the comments, and we will see who's going to be the winner in the next video, not this one, because I think everyone who commented has already won koala farts in the last video. So we want to spread the love around a little bit. Comment below, win some koala farts, koalafarts.com. And he sent me a reproduction Land Rover Australia tag. Thank you very much, Nathan. That is awesome. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to put this on. Do we put it on, here, comment below if you think I should put this on Patience the 101 or save it for Ivy, the Series 188. Let me know. I'm still undecided as to which Land Rover that should go on. There's always the 88, I mean the 80 inch as well. I do have an 80 inch. And I guess I basically have a complete Series 188 that I started with as a base car, but in the meantime I've pretty much replaced all the panels anyway, so I still have another whole 88 inch Series 1. And a Series 1 Discovery. Only one running right now, of course, which is Patience the 101. Because I can't seem to fix the electrical issue with the key and security and make it crank in the Discovery. So, that's cool. Thank you very much. I'm going to head out now and I'm going to put that drive shaft in, and just like, I'm just going to snap my fingers and then we'll be back and we'll be driving down the road and I'll give you my feedback on how the new drive shaft behaves and if it solves those vibration, horrible noise, destroying itself kind of noises. Alright guys, you might be a little shaky there, but we're just about to head up onto the freeway here to see if we can get her as fast as we can. She's a bit of a slug on the freeway, or getting up over 90k an hour, but we'll do the best we can. And we're going to run down to the next exit and hop off, and then we're going to give the carbs a tune up. They're running a little rich, but I'll catch up to you a second once we get on the freeway and we'll see how that new front drive shaft is doing. Basically, whenever you're in float, either not under load, either accelerating or decelerating, the thing sounded like it was going to explode, self-destruct. So let's see how she does. Topping out at 50k an hour in third gear, and then from 50 to 100 is all fourth.